Hello everyone, this is Omka this side and we are going on a detailed journey of what an overview of Power BI desktop today, and we are going to understand there are different panes. There is data pane, fields pane, visualization pane and filters pane as well. We are going to understand all these panes in detail. This is our agenda for this video. Alright. Exploring the data pane, will start with the data pane. The first thing that in data pane that you will do is whenever you are importing your data sets, you are connecting your data sets, right? What are those data sets? What are the different tables that you are connected to? You can see all those data sets into what your data pane. You can preview your data. Preview is just a snapshot of what your data looks like. And finally, you can also do what? You can organize and manage your data as well. In this data pane, there is a detailed option where you can see each and every information related to each and every column that is into that table. This fields pane is where you will find the fields that we call as the columns that we have in our data sets, and it gives a superb functionality that we can just drag and drop each field and just put it into our canvas to create that magical reports or charts that we want, right? So this is the drag and drop functionality that you will get into this fields pane to just drag and drop the columns that you want specific information to have. Then there is field customization. You can rename these fields. You can again rearrange these fields as well. You can understand the data types of these fields as well through what your fields pane. Finally, the other thing that you can do is again manage your tables and columns. All these tables are imported into Power BI, right? So you can again manage these columns into what your fields pane. Finally, the most important pane that you will be using a lot is your visualization pane, where you will be creating different charts, right? So you have taken information from fields pane, the connected data, you're seeing that data in data pane, you're trying to get that information from fields pane, and now you're creating charts using what your visualization pane. It's an amazing tool that you can just select different types of charts, and different types of charts are created just like that. So in your visualization pane, you can choose your visual type, you can customize your visuals, you can select specifically how color, what color that chart is looking like, or how is it data formatted, right? Or what is the x-axis containing, or what is the y-axis containing. All those things you can do it what using what visualization pane. There are additional features in visualization pane as well. We will be doing that a lot in practical. A detailed report you will get onto that. What exactly are all those features that are present in visualization pane? Another pane is that a filters pane, where we can add filters to our data sets. So there are multiple levels of filters that you can add. You can add to a specific visual, or you can add to a report level filter which is applied on each and every page, right? So there's filter panes to manage filters, and in my report canvas I can design, I can just drag my filter. Say for example, I am doing I have McDonald's, but McDonald's is not just present in one state. There are multiple states, but I am only interested in Maharashtra. I can use this filters pane to make a detailed report of Maharashtra, right? Navigating through Power BI desktop, again we have ribbons, right, containing different tabs, containing different groups, each group containing different functionalities. So we are navigating through Power BI desktop, and there are different kinds of view that Power BI gives us, right? There is first thing that we have first is ribbon, which will contain different tabs, groups and functionalities of Power BI. Then we have three types of view. One is report view, another one is data view, and third one is model view. Understanding each view in detail, right? What is report view? Report view is basically a canvas where you will be creating your charts. Data view is to get a preview of your data, how the data or how the table is looking like, which are the tables that you have added as well. And model view is what, where you will see the relationships between different data sets. How are they sharing information among themselves? You'll find it into your model view, right? Now we are going to start with some understanding with some basic data types. So for first understanding the data types, you must know why are there data types? Why is there a need to create data types in Power BI at first place? See, it's not for you to understand the data types, rather for you to understand how exactly the charts are being created. For exactly Power BI to understand which types of charts that you want. So there are multiple data types that we have created. Say for example, we take the number as 10. 10 is a normal number, but if I give it some kind of context, like now 10 is a roll number, you understand that it cannot be 0. If 10 is a date, you understand it cannot be above 30 or 31, right? So you get sense of the data by recognizing some context. But how can a machine understand that? You can understand using what? Data types, right? So there are different data types in Power BI that we take. One is numeric, another one is text, third one is date time, and fourth one is boolean. So Power BI gives you an option of giving a visual aspect to different data types. For example, if the data is numeric, and it is only, it is not decimal, then it will write 1 2 3. So you will understand that it is a numerical data which does not include numerical decimal value. Another one is, say for example, there is decimal value. Power BI will always write it as 1.2 to and make you understand that whatever data you have in that specific column is what a data of numeric type of what containing a decimal value. Another data type is text, so it will write A, B, C for recognizing the text. Another thing is date time, it will give you a calendar symbol. Power BI will give you a calendar symbol for knowing whether it is date or time. Final is the boolean value for true and false, right? So it is only for binary options that we have. Okay. There are different data structures in Power BI as well. Different data structures contains, there are tables, there are columns, there are measures, and there are relationships as well. So table is what it consists of rows and columns. So columns is what columns are basically what Power BI calls it as fields for creating different charts. The third one is measures. Measures is what a calculation, an advanced calculation that you do on your data for getting advanced statistical insights. Fourth thing is the relationship, where you can define relationship between multiple data sources that are coming in and showing how exactly the data is getting shared between all those two, right? Finally, summarizing the whole thing now, right? We are looking at the overview of Power BI desktop. You can navigate through Power BI desktop, very easy to use, very simple interface, right? Very beginner friendly. Another thing was data types. There was numeric data type, there was integer, there was decimal, then there was date time as well, then there was string, there was text as well, right? There were boolean values as well, and finally there were data structures as well, where we can consist tables, we can consist fields, which is columns basically. There were measurements as well, and the relationship, that the information that the tables are sharing among themselves. Thank you so much. All right, now we'll try to understand the different panes that Power BI gives. It's not pain as in PAIN, but PANE, right? So that's data pane, visualization pane, and filters pane as well. In data pane, you can see over here that the table that you have imported from. So you can see the date, the time, the when we imported this data, right? When we refresh this data, and the table name is movies with details, so it's the same name which Excel had, right? It is giving me the same name. Then if I click on this option, I'll get all these different fields. These are basically different columns for us, right? Different columns consisting in our data set. You can see somewhere option over here as well, where date also has this option, because date is a hierarchical thing in Power BI, where we can extract years, month, quarters. So this is also what a data pane gives an overview of, where you can see the symbol of summation, right? Those are basically numerical columns that we have, and in date column you can see that's the symbol for calendar now, right? So it's by default, wherever the date column is there, we can extract years, quarters, months, or days from our date column, right? After this, there's something called as visualization pane. So what you can do is you can expand and collapse this pane whenever you want, right? So in this visualization pane, so this is the most used pane that you will be doing, because this is all the formatting, right? Whatever charts that you are creating, all those formattings are happening behind this visualization pane, right? So there are different charts. As you can see, you can just hover onto any other chart. Say for example, I'm going over here, it's saying pie chart, it's saying donut chart as well, right? So I can select any of the charts that I want, and then I can select the fields that I want in those charts, and I can create beautiful visualizations. And after creating visualizations, I can format those as well. So there is no chart selected, so what I can format is, I can format my canvas background. So as you can see, I have a superb background over here, a superb canvas over here, where page 1 is written. I can add multiple pages as well, right? So for this page, specific one page, what I can do is I'll delete the another page that I've added, and in this page what I can do is I can change the canvas background. Say for example, I want a light blue color, sky blue color. Now it's not showing. Why? Because the transparency is at 100%. If you decrease this transparency, you'll slowly see that the sky blue color is coming in. Superb. Now what you can do, you can start creating your charts onto this, right? And after creating your charts, you can also specify which type of color you want in your charts, how the font should look like. All these options will get into your visualizations pane. Final pane is a filters pane. In this filters pane, there are two options: filters on this page or filters on all pages. So filters on this specific page, say for example I'm doing state analysis, different states I'm doing for, I can add a state filter over here that user can choose from. Say for example is selecting now Punjab, right? So I'll get all my dashboard would be, or all my report would be what, now filtered based on that Punjab filter. Filter on all pages is what, where it is applying on all pages. So I've just added page 1. What if my report is of 10 pages? I can add one filter on all pages over here, right? For adding filters, what you can do, say for example I'm taking director. It's very simple in Power BI. Just drag this and add to your filter on all pages, and then you have this superb option of filtering your whole report, right? So you can just select whichever your say now Randeep Huda is one director, you can just select, and all the charts that you have made on all those pages will now get filtered according to the director called as Randeep Huda. Now after this, what we'll do is we'll try to understand some basic data types and data structures that Power BI offers us. To understand these basic data types, you can also see over here that this is a summation sign, right? Indicating what? Indicating that all the numerical columns. For date, we have this calendar as a symbol, right? But to know each and every data type, what you can do is in your home tab, right? There is this queries group, and there's this beautiful option called as transform data. You'll click this and you'll notice that instead of Power BI desktop, Power BI will open a new window that we call it as Power Query Editor. What is this Power Query Editor? This is a tool for data engineering, right? So we'll go in depth exactly how this query editor and how these tabs works as well. But for now, we'll go according to the basic data types that Power BI is giving us. So for example, in this query editor, you can see there are different columns now that Power BI is showing of what, of all the data that we have loaded. In this, as you can see in number, we get this 1, 2, 3 as an option. What's this 1, 2, 3? So there is a symbol indicating that it is a numerical value without any decimal point. ABC, as you can see, its film name for what? It is for text. As you can see, after clicking on this ABC, I can change its data type. I can change it to decimal number, which symbol is 1.2. Then there is fixed decimal, there's whole numbers, there's percentage, there's date, time, text, binary, which is also true, false as well, right? So all these options are easy to understand what kind of data type each column has. Why is this important? Why are these data types important? Because charts are dependent upon which type of data you have. If for example you want to see relationship between two numerical columns, you can go for scatter plot. For understanding those numerical values, you'll understand these data types. There are also data structures in Power BI as well. For data structures, what are these data structure? For example, as you can see, there's this table, right? There's this table. Then there's column as well. A table consists of, it can consist one column as well, but it can also consist more than one columns. Whereas a column is a single column, a single feature of a table, right? There are also something called as measures, right? We can add columns through this tab, so we'll be looking at in detail in further topics, right? There's also something called as measures, which is also a data structure. So measurements are basically advanced statistical operations. So you'll find different types of or different ways of data engineering using these options. All right. After understanding measures, columns, tables, there is also one thing called as relationships as well. In relationship, this is again a basic data type or data structure of Power BI. A relationship is how are the tables sharing information among each others. So that's how it all goes, right from various data types. I'll revise once again, from decimal to integers to fixed decimals to date to time, everything, from data structures as well. So going from tables, columns, measures and relationships as well. That's it for this lecture. I'll see you in next part.
To know more about IT Vedant, visit our website